Welcome to CCRPG, where we open up our virtual table and play games with some good friends. I'm Bob, and I'll be running Lancer, an RPG by Miguel Lopez and Tom Parkinson-Morgan. You can find it on itch.io. When we last left off, our pilots were en route to Contest after meeting with Effic Desaria, Ren's inside contact. Let's begin with the description of your approach. Seen from afar, the superstructure above E2705 almost appears to be a metallic skin covering approximately 1/8 of the planet, like a large triangle draped over a sphere. As you approach, the illusion is broken somewhat, as you can differentiate the individual modules and begin to see it as more of an artificial aloft archipelago. These spacefaring modules have all the characteristics of historic Cygnus design. Rectangles rise like skyscrapers for some. Others sport web-like tangles of connection points and causeways. This tangle of ancient corporate artifice is home to millions. Physically located near the core worlds, but lacking any of their prestige or even a name. You approach your designated landing platform on Dock Module 126. Where are all of you right now?
Real quick, is there a planet it's orbiting? I don't remember.
It is, imagine a planet in your mind, like a big sphere, okay? Now imagine that planet had a big metallic eye patch that was floating over top of it. That's what it looks like. Like, literally, it's so big. Imagine literally 1/8 of the planet is covered by a giant metallic triangle that floats hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles in the air above the planet.
I see. So it's like in its upper, like, stratosphere or something, sort of. Or,
if there were 8 more of these, the planet would be surrounded by a dome of metal.
Yeah.
Okay. But because there's only one, it looks like a giant spherical triangle floating over 1/8 of the planet.
You just broke my brain with spherical triangle.
Well, that's so I looked it up. That is what this is. I looked up, what do you call a what do you call the shape that is a triangle draped over a sphere? And the word for that is a spheric triangle. So
I get it. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not going to use that word in my description because I don't think people will know what that means.
I just imagine the planet is trying to cosplay as a pirate. There we go. Problem solved.
But like legitimately, like it does not hold position. It's not like tidally locked to a certain point of the planet either. Like this giant spheric triangle could be over any part of the planet. You can actually see the planet almost seems to rotate maybe slightly faster than the conglomeration of space stations that make up this superstructure, because the part that the superstructure was covering originally is not the same over time. Like, over time, you'll see it covering up different parts of the planet.
Right, yeah. Gotcha.
It's a triangular moon. There we go.
Yes, just not as far away as a moon, basically. It's like just over the atmosphere. Imagine a space station, but the space station is so big, it blots out a significant portion of the sky.
Man, it really sucks
Not
to be
a
those
moon,
people.
it's a space station.
Is the planet like a gas planet,
No.
or does it have a surface? Okay.
Remember, the thing you all know about E2705 is that it was one of the first colonized planets as the Cygnus state was exploring out into its local stars. E2705 was rich in resources and was basically strip mines in a way no other place has ever been before or since. Like, they destroyed the planet by overexploiting it. So the
there's
planet,
literally nothing left there.
The planet itself is like barren and or toxic. Like it is either like in part so exploited there is very little left of it, or so exploited that toxic like contamination covers large swaths of the planet. Like the planet itself is not where people live. This superstructure above the planet is the planet now. Like
there's nothing useful on the ground, and living down there is probably going to kill you faster than anything.
Yeah, probably.
And I completely forgot this is the planet that it's being targeted for the big
this is the terraforming project. Yes.
Yeah.
The idea being it's supposed to be really good PR because it's like, look at the mistakes we made in the past. We're going to go back and fix them. Look at this thing that the early settlers coming out of the original Cygnus State expansion did. Well, we're different now, and we know how to do things better. So we're going to go back and fix the mistakes of our ancestors and really put this planet to right again. You already know that that's not the case. But additionally, it sounds like the kind of like very public sort of charity that these corporations want for good publicity, but you don't know if they're going to make good on in a real way that helps people.
Put all the metal back in the planet. We'll clean up all of the toxins. Then we'll strip mine it again.
like the way that it's been advertised, and I imagine maybe you've viewed some of the stuff that they've been putting out about it on your way here, is like this is maybe one of the largest cooperative projects between members of the Big Six in the Cygnus State in like over a century. Like this is like the first time 3 of the Big Six have like joined forces in a single large project of this scale.
And that's worrying.
Just as a reminder, the 3 that are taking part in this project, each that has their own representative as part of the council, that Effic told you about, and you'll meet again soon, is Apogee Material and Materiel, Unfolding Moravec, and Lev Integrated Technologies. Those are the 3 corporations taking place in this project. Taking part, I should say. So I'll return to my prior question. Where are all of the pilots right now as your ship approaches dock module 126?
Astro is going to be in the cockpit. I assume Steve is also there.
Yeah, that's all I was going to say.
Steve just walks away. All right, Astro, you can just dock it. It's easy.
It basically flies itself, right?
I imagine Jessica is pulling her new duty as, operator here, kind of riding the operations station as you guys pull in as well.
Choo-choo.
I feel like Evelene is probably working on the mechs, like some finishing touches, making sure we're ship shape. Well, mech shape, I guess would be the right word.
Yeah.
The ship is in shape, but are the mechs in ship shape?
Yeah.
A ship shape.
And you don't want the mechs in the same shape as the ship. That would be bad.
But if you had if they had ships in the shape of a mech, that'd be pretty cool.
Oh my god, I could see Astro driving like a mech that's just shaped like the DBC.
Little mini DBC.
I want to imagine that there is like a spaceship that is stylized like a sailing ship to the point where in order to pilot the ship, you have to be in a mech on the back of a ship with a giant like wheel on the back that's so big you need a mech's hands to like use the big ship wheel on the back of it.
Yeah, and it's like, it's like exposed to space, like it's an open air sort of design, so you have to be in some sort of like EVA mech suit anyway, just to
to be
pilot
on the deck.
ship.
Yeah. But that, unfortunately, is not the ship you have. You have a very nice ship that you just did a lot of upgrades to, and that is what's pulling into the docks module. Evelene is getting your mech ship shape and then realizing they need to be in mech shape and fixing that real quick.
That's how nervous she is.
That's a real
She's
quick
like,
fix.
damn, I just damaged them so they'll be in the same shape as the DBC. Now I need to fix
Yeah, I
them
put
again.
a single long hole through all of them. Now I need to go back and fix that.
Shit. She tried to do it to the Prometheus, but Artemis saw it coming and just aimed the cannon at her, and, well, Evelene just backed away.
One of them needs to be the instigator. And so at least Evelene, that's where you are. What about Dyne?
Dyne is probably in the med bay just doing final check and supplies, and probably just looking up all of the propaganda for this current project, so he has a good idea in case he comes across the people involved. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't completely so he knows what he's talking about, at least based off of what they have put out, right?
Well, you do know very plainly, all of the materials agree that it's called Project Rebirth. They're really leaning hard on the imagery of bringing the planet back to life, so to speak. In their imagery, they're quote unquote breathing life back into the planet. That's the image the corporations want people to think of with this.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like we know any more than that, but Dyne is just reviewing what has been put out there, mm-hmm. so that way we don't get caught off guard, kind of. Not that there's much out there.
An interesting thing is, you're right, it's exactly that. There's not much more than propaganda. You don't have hard data on what they're doing. There's nothing on there that says this is exactly what they're doing. It's all very big picture stuff. You can't find anything in the material that's easily available about when are they introducing this to the planet? What kind of timelines are they looking at? That's not publicly available information.
No, but it does, drum up some interesting questions. And that's kind of why he's doing it. He's like, what's out there and what's missing?
Totally.
I mean, there's a lot missing, but yeah.
Now, for the two of you who are in the cockpit, this is something you will see as you come down onto the dock module. As you approach dock module 126, it is a large cylinder-like module with landing elevators speckled across its semi-curved surface. As the DBC is directed to its designating landing platform position, you see lighting appear on the platform to indicate its appropriate placement. I assume you have no trouble making this attachment. Is that right, Steve?
I hope not.
I shouldn't think so. I didn't know if you were already playing suspicious with them or not, but this is just them going, this is where to land.
No.
It'd
I'll
be
land
really
where
funny.
they tell me to for now.
Yeah, it'd be really funny if you're like, no, I shoot missiles at it.
He flips the ship upside down. We land upside down.
Flip the ship 180 and do a
second.
full burn in the opposite direction. As you land, the platform descends into the dock module as the opening above your ship is closed with large bulkhead shutters. The platform you landed on tracks down and through the module, eventually depositing you into a storage hangar for the ship. Large lettering at the top of the hangar displays D6. The interior of the hangar platform you have been loaded into is sparse, and the walls themselves are open to the tracks and paths that wind their way through. One wall of the hangar, though, appears to be solid and has exits to passages more accommodating to humans.
All right. Does it seem like there's anyone there
No.
waiting to receive us?
Nope.
Or that's so sad.
You are in a dark, empty hangar. Because remember, like, the floor of the hangar is the floor you landed on. It's literally like the platform you landed on attaches itself to a track and descends down through. It's almost like one of those weird parking garages that you load your car onto, and a platform takes your car up and away and, like, files it away somewhere. That's the thing that just happened to your ship. So you're down in the bowels of Dock Module 126 right now.
Okay.
I'll power down the ship and just get ready to disembark, I guess.
Yeah. I'll flip a switch and say over the intercom, all right, everyone, let's get ready to deboard and see what we got waiting for us.
Disembark?
No. We deboard this house. Stones only.
What is Astro's new name? Xander? So deboard is a Xander thing. Okay, I got it.
I actually was going to say disembark, but I was like, he just said disembark. I need to be a little more original.
Yeah, because it's the word to use.
Deboard, they say deboard. They say deboard.
Astro's like, I need a thesaurus. I can't use the same word within 2 sentences of itself.
Is deboard actually like a term?
I feel like they've said that on airplanes.
Well,
like,
so there's
please wait.
There's embark and disembark, right? So there has to be an opposite to boarding something, right?
Right.
It means to exit a form of transportation, such as a boat, ship, airplane, trolley, streetcar, or spaceship.
All right, take it back.
Still sounds dumb. I'm not riding your defense on that one.
My only critique is that I thought it was wrong, so when he proved me wrong, I don't care anymore.
So did I.
But Jess, who is at the operator station, will turn to you and go, what about Curry and I? Should we stay with the ship, or are we coming too?
Up to you, actually. I would say there's no reason to stay with the ship. It looks like, at this point, it's parked, it's secure. So if you want to come along, you're more than welcome to join us. But don't feel obligated.
I think I'll stay here then.
Okay. Sounds good.
We leave the ship. We see the ship taking off without us.
And she was never heard from again.
All right. So what about the rest of you? What do you do?
Astro will don his disguise. He has a little, glasses with the mustache attached. No, not really.
Evelene puts on an eye patch.
It has googly eyes on it.
It's a snagglepuss or something, right? Isn't that what that's called? The glasses with the mustache?
I thought they were Groucho Marx glasses or something.
I mean, that's what they're called informally, yeah. I think, but it has a name.
Oh, I don't know.
Snagglepuss is the little Pink Panther guy. I just googled that.
Yeah.
He's little...
Yeah, there's a name for it though. If I find the name for it, I will let you know.
Meanwhile, we have a conversation with an NPC.
Beaglepuss.
Beaglepuss. Wow, that sounds,
What?
Aha! I knew there was a name for it. Vindication.
Beaglepuss. Who came up with that? I'd like to have a talk with them.
I don't know, but
this is a very educational episode. We're learning lots of new terms.
We're all about the dictionary today.
Yeah.
I like how it says Beagle Puss.
What
Uncommon.
was the letter that brought this episode to everyone?
Brought to you by the letter C-O-N for contest.
All right. Astro will just go to the airlock or the gangway exit port, whatever we use to leave, wait for everyone else.
Apparently, it was the brand name of one of the companies that originally put them out. It was the Beagle Puss disguise kit. The fuck? Okay, I'm just closing all of these tabs.
Yeah,
back to the contest.
Why Dyne was delayed getting off the ship. He fell down like a little Wikipedia hole or something.
Space wiki.
Beagle Puss sounds like a risky search to me.
You know, maybe we should be rethinking our call signs, and one of us should be Beagle Puss.
He saw Astro pull the glasses out, and he's like, "What are those? I must know," and then disappeared for days.
Call me Beagle Puss.
BG Puss. No, that sounds awful. Never
like
mind.
a weird old school James Bond character name. Beagle Puss.
James Bond, even known thousands of years in the future. And I'm sure Astro did a knockoff James Bond film as well.
Oh yeah, I think we've established that. He has for sure.
After landing at Dock Module 126, after you've relayed the various docking confirmations and whatnot, eventually to the ship, you receive directions for passage to Entertainment Module 81, where contests will be held.
Interesting. Entertainment Module. I wonder if we're getting started right away.
We'll find out.
Can I respond with some questions? With
This is not that kind of. It is like a map and directions and instructions showed up. This is not like a person's conversation.
Yeah. I could still respond.
You could. Do you try to respond?
I don't.
Just attached to it is this is an automated message. Do not respond.
Do not reply. Does it look like we need to be in our mechs, or we're just
no
walking there?
No, it is. There is a tram that you will board that will take you from 126 to 81.
All right. Cool. Well, assuming we meet up, at the airlock of the ship when we're heading out, I'll just say, so what do you think we're going to see here? Big banquet? Reception?
I mean,
entertainment module. What does that mean? Are we going to watch a movie? Ooh, maybe they're going to put on one of my movies.
I think part of the contest is that it is entertainment for the people here.
It's just that we're the entertainment.
What are we, some kind of gladiators? Actually, I guess that's exactly what we are.
That's exactly what we are, Astro.
As we're walking along, I'll say, so if we see our friends from Shep 6, the Cane Vagrants, what do you think we should do? Just come clean with them? Well, not completely clean, obviously. But we should probably have a story, get our story straight between all of us.
I mean, we're here looking for a job.
Just say we're here looking for a job. Our normal name is a bit too hot at the moment.
Yeah. And
that's not a lie.
It's not. Yeah, and I'm I'm pretending not to be me because I don't want to be recognized. That's really
I'm
pretty
pretending not to be me, so I'm going to use my skills to not be me.
It's actually pretty common among celebrities to use like fake, names and personas.
Yeah, Astro, I don't think you need to worry about people questioning why you'd want to pretend to not be you.
I'm not sure I like what you're implying, sir.
I agree.
You're just so famous,
Gotta keep yourself hidden from your fans.
It's hard. Astro looks a little relieved when you say that. He's like, it is hard.
So hard. your fans and your enemies and everyone else in between.
It's a cross I must bear. All right. Very well.
I guess we head on down.
Yeah, well, I assume we were just sort of like walking and talking, West Wing style. Snappy Aaron Sorkin dialogue.
You will find yourselves at it's less of a tram train and more of a tram car. It's not very big, and it looks like it's just waiting for you.
All right.
It's like a golf cart.
It's like just big enough to be like, oh, you could probably fit like 10 people on here kind of thing. Like a small bus.
All right, guys, let's hop on the airport tram.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Let's
carry up your luggage. Make sure we get our ticket so we remember where our car is parked.
As you all load on, there is no pilot. There is no one else on the tram aside from yourselves. After you all pass onto the ship, you will watch as the door closes behind you. And once it seals, like some advertisement starts to play on one of the screens in the car with you. It is a very flowery looking advertisement for the Rebirth Project. It barely gets to what it's saying because a large part of it is showing the animated logos for all of the different organizations that are taking part. So you see the AM2 logo, you see the LIT logo, you see the Unfolding Moravec logo, and then eventually it gets to just... Do you know what I mean when I say idyllic college campus advertisements?
Yeah.
That's what this is. It shows just scenes of like people, like multicultural people hanging out on a hill together with books, chatting. It shows pictures of people walking on like stone pathways with like well-constructed buildings behind them, just out of focus, and like talking in a way that you can't hear what they're saying. And it's just like, oh, look how nice it is. Like, oh, isn't this pleasant? It's just the most base level pleasant nothing of an advertisement you could possibly see. And
so
then at the end,
every drug commercial,
kind of, except there's no talking. There's no like, and the side effects can include, fucking PAH or something, like, it's just like idyllic images of people enjoying themselves in alpine / forested plainic, like pleasant weather areas, right? It's like, it is exactly what you would expect to see in pictures of a college campus advertising itself, right? And that's it. And then at the end of the advertisement, like a little image of the symbol for Project Rebirth comes on, which is just a planet with like a big sparkle coming off the side of it. And that's it. And then the advertisement shuts off, and then the tram starts moving.
It wasn't even moving this whole time.
No. You all sat down, that advertisement played, and then the tram started moving.
You're forced to watch it.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Is this going to happen every time we get on a tram?
You'll find out.
It's gonna make us watch it before it lets us off.
Eveline's already trying to figure out a way to hack the tram so that we can bypass the commercial.
This tram is immediately more interesting than the advertisement you just watched, because you are immediately shuttled outside of the dock module, and you're rushing along on one of these causeways that goes in between the various modules, and you're going very fast. It doesn't feel like you're going very fast in the tram, but you're going quite fast. You see the planet kind of large and vaguely wrong looking below you. There's something about the atmosphere that makes everything like a weirdish orange color. You see the various modules kind of flying past you. You see other causeways where you see other trams zooming this way and that, only for like blinks of a moment. You see these other large modules just kind of like, they're so big that, like, even though you're going past them very fast, they look like they just kind of lumber past because of their bulk. As this tram kind of shuttles you all the way to Entertainment Module 81.
Are these modules all like separate, like space station modules, like in space? Like,
yeah.
Are we sort of like in a tram flying through space on
a
rail?
on like a rail that goes between open to space station modules.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. And you'll notice also you bear witness to large scale construction and shifts at the architecture through the windows. You watch as you see in the far distance what you expect is a work crew with just sparks flying off. Like there's probably some sort of welding or something taking place up there. You see as an entire modular portion of one of the modules is like slowly like jettisoned from and lifted away by like those very slow, like, you know, adjusting thruster boosts you see spaceships use, just kind of like lumber away from something as like you see work crews like go into the crack that has been made to work on something in below. Additionally, as you are floating past, just by happenstance, the four of you catch something interesting happening outside the window. Just barely visible outside the glass, you catch the hint of a vessel of some sort rising up from the planet below. Perhaps it's because you've not seen the planet up this close before, but there's nothing changes. But like you don't see any traffic going to and from the planet. But maybe it's because, you haven't been around the planet that long. You just kind of were looking at the planet like, oh, that's the planet, I guess. You watch as a vessel rises up from the planet's atmosphere below, but not heading to one of the modules. No, it blasts past the modules out of sight into the starfield beyond.
Interesting.
It must be pretty big if we noticed it.
Or pretty close.
Or pretty close? Okay.
Yeah.
I know the chance of this is probably 0, but does it look like any of the ships I saw in any of the promotional materials?
It was too small to make out. Like, what you could see, the fact that you could see it means it was pretty close to you, but it was still too far away to get, like, a good visual identification. Like, if you were in your mech, you probably could zoom and enhance, but, like, with your eyes, no.
Okay. Cool.
Quick question: Is Curry with us?
No, Curry decided to stay on the ship.
Okay.
If you hazarded to ask him before leaving, he would have said he still has some things he wants to do on the ship, to let him know what it's like when you get there. Like he basically was like, yeah, just check in when you guys get there. Let us know what the deal is, right?
Okay. Then I'll just mention to everyone looking outside at the ship flying away. We might want to make sure our mechs are equipped with EVA modules.
Yeah. Good point.
How do you move around, Dyne? Oh, I just fire my gun.
I mean, it works.
It's a perfectly acceptable means of propulsion.
I actually don't know if I need it because I can fly. Like,
no, you don't need an EVA system if you have flight enabled systems.
Okay, I thought EVA systems were like half flight or boosters or whatever, and half like making sure your mech can go into space. Okay.
An EVA module is for mechs that traditionally can't fly, so that they can move in space at all. Otherwise, they would just kind of be like stuck floating there.
Yeah.
For use in low, zero gravity, and underwater environments. So the Tweety Bird may not be great for underwater environments, but otherwise fine. I don't know.
I don't know how it flies, to be honest, because
I always like the comparison of like space to underwater stuff. There's the joke in like Futurama or whatever. It's like, well, this is a spaceship. Surely we can go underwater, right? It's like, well, it's a spaceship, so it's rated for anywhere from 0 to 1 atmospheres.
Yeah. And I have the jump jet.
Yeah,
jump
jets
covered.
work. You would have to use the jump jets as is, but like they function as propulsion in 0G.
So I'm okay.
Fortunately, I equipped the EVA. I was smart enough.
Well, I guess that I told Astro that he should probably call Curry and then maybe make sure that's equipped just in case.
Well, it's definitely not equipped on mine. But yeah.
All of us are flying as we see Astro just kind of floating away.
Too bad you're not the goblin. Then you could attach to one of your allies as they fly around.
God damn it!
I was just gonna say, if he's the goblin, it's fine, right?
Finally, the goblin is useful.
No matter what mech you bring, I'm going to make you want the other one.
My timing will never be right.
It's too bad. There's still only one mech he can really attach to.
Yeah, true. But yeah, that's kind of the things you see on your way to the entertainment module. Eventually, you approach the entertainment module from the direction you approach it. It's not, you don't really get a good vision of what the entertainment module would look like from the outside, just because like you're going past and through a network of other modules surrounding you. You don't get the big picture of what this looks like on the outside. But you are brought to the interior of it relatively quickly. As you enter Entertainment Module 81, you will notice as well, it looks whatever a polite way to say unfinished is. There are
looks like shit.
There are obvious wall panels that aren't complete. Like as you pull in, like it's obvious that they had designs for this entertainment module to be like, oh, you know, like you come here and you get a really good impression of it as you get off at the station, you know, like good first impression kind of stuff. But actually, Dyne said it in the chat, looks like most government projects. Yes, it looks like one of those things that's constantly in construction, but it's meant to look good. But the fact that it's constantly in construction means it never looks good, right? So like, it looks like they had designs to make it look good, and it's not there.
They broke ground and they started, and they're like, oh, well, we'll come back to it later.
Yeah, totally. As you get off, the lighting is bare. It is very much like you're in kind of construction, construction plot lighting, right? Like, yeah, a lot of the lighting works in the module, but it is not not promenade level. It is like a bunch of spotlights and area lights that are almost a little bit too bright, but make sure no one trips over a corner or something like that. You know what I mean? And there's really only one path to follow from the dock area that leads you up further in. As you ascend away from where the tram docked, I'm sorry. Before you get off the tram, as the tram pulls in, before the door opens, the little screen that the advertisement was on before shows all of the corporation symbols again, and then shows the Project Rebirth symbol, and then says, "From all of us to you," in text, "we hope you have a great day." And then it shuts off, and then the door opens.
And then it
That was
explodes.
Yeah. That's not going to get annoying fast.
But yeah, as you rise up out of where the tram stopped, you will watch the tram below you. The door will close on the tram and it leaves. Like it leaves without you. It goes somewhere else. And then as you're climbing up, you see like very industrial looking arrows on walls that are like this way to this way to power, this way to washrooms, this way to, and then this is the one that looks newly painted on. It's an arrow that just says contest is one of the arrows you can follow.
I'll just point to that and say, I guess we're going that way.
Yep, that.
Are there
That's
any
about
other-
as high effort as I thought it would be.
Are there any other interesting locations besides the usual spiel? Like, I don't know, like boiler room or self-destruct room or anything like that?
Well, that's the thing, is those are around, not self-destruct room, because that was a joke. But yeah, like there's direction for power. There's direction for admin. There's direction for heating and plumbing.
Okay.
Like you would know where to go based on these layouts. If you were trying to follow them to those destinations. They have not hidden those things.
I wasn't sure if there's anything like gym or theater or whatever, like something you would find in a recreational area like this.
Not down where you are currently. As you are rising up away from the where the tram docked, all the arrows down here just point to either the way forward, which seems to be newly written in as contest, or they're arrows that go to various administrative functions. But Evelene, you will notice as you keep following the contest arrows, you will start to see arrows that point off in different directions. That's like racket courts. That direction is an arrow that says racket courts. You will see an arrow that points off to, and it just says casino, and it points off in a direction. You will see one that points off, and it says Folf, F-O-L-F, Folf is in that direction. You would know that is a version of golf that is... It's like you play it with a bat in 0G.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
It's called Bolf?
Yeah, Folf. F-O-L-F.
Ah.
Astro made a false sports movie once.
That sounds about right.
It was probably the first time he'd ever heard about Folf 2.
No, not Folf 2. There's only one Folf.
Okay, you're right. You're right. That movie was not one of his good ones. I mean, not that there wasn't. I'm just going to stop there, says Dyne. You've had better.
Yeah.
So yeah, you rise up following the various arrows that lead towards contest. What are you guys doing as you head in that direction?
Not much. Astro's just kind of talking nervously. He's like, "Oh, do you think they're gonna make us play racquetball for the contest?" Only
if you replace the ball with bullets, probably.
Oh God.
And the racket, what do you call the little thing you swing? Is it just called a racket?
A racket.
Yeah. Racket.
It is racquetball.
Yeah. I just
you
had a
don't
moment
call
there.
the ball a racket, so
I just had a moment where I couldn't think if that didn't sound right. I was like, what do you call the thing in tennis? Is that also called a racket? Like my mind just stopped working.
Well,
for a
first we
second.
need to deboard, and then
I don't trust any words I'm saying now.
Don't worry. I assume the way pickleball works is you hit some pickles. I
Yeah.
haven't ever bothered to learn otherwise, and I don't plan
No.
on doing so.
Be prepared to be
You have a
disappointed.
giant pickle and you swing it at balls.
That is the opposite of what I expected. There we go.
I would actually be into that.
I thought at least if
You
you were
would be
hitting
into
the
that.
pickles, you could make some good relish, you know? So. But yes, you head up. Are you deviating at all, or are you just following the line in the sand?
Do we see anyone else along the way?
No.
Is it just abandoned?
You do not see other people.
Astro sees no reason to deviate. He's like, it's really quiet here.
Strangely so. Do you think that this is like the start of the test?
How do you mean?
Can we follow directions?
Well, maybe we'll end up going in a circle. And we have to figure out the trick to get to the actual meeting location.
I just shrug and go, I don't know, just an idle thought. We've been walking for a long time.
Like
I
some
wouldn't rule
sort of
anything out.
mind games they're playing with us? Suppose it's possible. I guess we should be on the lookout for anything strange and react accordingly. Are there cameras around? I'll look as we walk. I'll look if there are any like security cameras.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally there are. There have been since you docked. There were in the dock as well.
Stupid question, but are they fixed in place or do they ominously follow us as we walk around?
They are fixed in place. They are like
Okay.
wide-angle cameras that look at certain hallways and stuff.
Okay.
Some of them, though, could be following you. You don't know because they're those weird little privacy domes in the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't know what the fuck they're doing in there. Who knows? Maybe some of those domes are empty. They do that sometimes.
You approach one, it explodes. Oh, shit.
Isn't Walmart notorious for that? Having like empty security cameras everywhere? Probably other stores too, but...
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's a way to make it feel like you're always in the panopticon, whether or not you're actually being watched.
All right, well, let's just keep moving on, I guess.
All right, as you do, you eventually get to the top of a staircase that was one of the variety of things you followed on your way here. And as you do, you get into a large hallway that has, at the far end, like it almost seems like you've entered into an area that has, it's almost like an auditorium, right? There's like stadium seating behind you as you walk down a staircase. And then it's almost like a high school basketball / theater, right? Where it's like, this could be a basketball court, or you could pull stadium seating out into it, right?
Right.
And then there is, instead of like where the stage would be in that circumstance, it's just a giant door, like a giant garage door that lifts upward, but it's closed right now. It's like a corrugated steel door that's closed. There are exits to the left and the right. But in the middle of this little auditorium area, there is a single desk that looks like a fold-out card table, cheap as you can be. A fold-out little card table desk that has like a little sign made out of paper over the front of it that just says "Contest" here written on it. And then around the table, there's like little frills, like those like Party City style, like little frills that you could attach to the side of a little card table to make it look like more than just a card table. There's a bunch of pamphlets and brochures and information on the top of the card table, and there is a single person sitting in this half dark auditorium room that has very poor lighting on right now because all the like ceiling lights aren't on. They're just a couple of lights on to make it visible in here, but not like in a way that's pleasant. Who's just sitting at the desk, who seems to be writing something like while waiting.
Are we early? Like really early?
Not the grand reception I was expecting.
You were expecting reception?
Well, yeah.
Look, this is run by the corporations. It's hard to predict exactly what they expect or what they're going to do.
I guess let's ask this guy what's going on.
I'm just saying they're not putting a powerful foot forward, implying that they have money to pay whoever they hire. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thought too. It's weird.
Well, we're trying to impress them, not them trying to impress us. Their name is the thing that holds the weight.
Guess so. I'll go up to the table and give him a tentative hello?
Well, the person at the table is she, her. She will say, "Oh, hello. Are you here for contest?"
Yes,
that pun ever get
we
old?
are. I'll look around behind me and I'll say, "Are we early? Is this the right place?"
Well, contest hasn't started just yet. Not all of the teams are here yet, nor are all of the judges. But I have been tasked with directing all contestants who are taking place, giving them the information they're going to need about when the various activities start and where to be and where they're expected at what times and what amenities you can avail yourselves of while you're here. My name is Losamar. If you need anything during the events of contest that does not rise to the notice of one of the council members, you should go through me.
Okay. Hello. I am Xander Nova, and we are the Murder of Crows.
Yes. Our latest entry into contest. I do have your information here. Welcome.
Thank you.
is that her full name or Losamar, or is it
Losa-
one name?
No, it's Losa Mar are her two names. Yeah.
I could just see Losamar being like a full name, you know?
Oh, it could have been. It could have been.
Oh, I
Good-
had
good
Lo
ask.
as her first name.
Astro sort of absentmindedly picks up one of the brochures and flips through it and says, so what do we do now?
Oh, well, now that you're here, you're probably going to want to make preparations before contest. Some of your competitors are here already. You will be accommodated for in residential module 82. We have cleared out the entire residential module to make room for all of you. So I believe, yes, you have been assigned apartment C3.
Okay. And do we take the tram to get there?
Residential module 82 is directly adjacent to us here. There are, the tram will take you there if you need. So if you're going, say, from your ship, you could travel directly to your residential module accommodations, or you could travel here from there. But it would probably be easier to either walk or take a lift to get to the residential module from here.
Can you tell us who showed up already?
Oh, yeah. She will look down at her notes. She will say, okay, it looks like Shep 7 has arrived. It looks like Uncanny Ravine has arrived. You all, the Murder of Crows, has arrived. And Prismalo has arrived. So did I say? I think I said Cane Vagrants, Prismalo, Murder of Crows, and Uncanny Ravine. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Those four are the ones who have arrived. You're the fourth team to arrive. Of the council members, I think currently we have already received and made accommodations for Governor Grime, Nosla, and Opie Orihart. But we are still waiting for Doc Grosser and Effic Desaria to arrive.
Are the council members in the same residential district?
No, they have their own private accommodations. They will be in the same residential area as you all, but they will not be on the same floors you occupy.
Hopefully showing up for meet and greets and such.
You will see them at various points during contest. They will be monitoring your progress. There will be a variety of times where you will be expected to speak with them, to go over their concerns, to have interviews with them if they deem necessary. They will be present for the majority of contest. But they are very busy and important people. Sometimes other things may occupy their concerns, in which case the other four will just have to do their best with one member absent, if that were to be the case. If ever two or more members of the council are absent for anything, we will temporarily suspend contest until we can have 4/5 of the council members in attendance.
Seems fair. Otherwise, yeah. About how long is the contest expected to last? I mean, assuming everything goes smoothly.
That is a good question. We have heard from our logistics department that contests can take no longer than 3 weeks because there are pending engagements within the next month that they will need people to work for. So hopefully you'll be able to bag one of those contracts and make some money right away, because it sounds like they're going to need people out there as soon as contest ends.
Money sounds like a good thing. We could use that.
Money pays for goods and services.
Money.
Which direction should we go to walk to the apartment living area?
Well, if you take a look at the brochure that your colleague has just picked up there, it will have a layout attached to it that includes all the areas that you're authorized to be in during your time here.
I'm going to look at the back of the brochure that Astro's looking at and then take it out of his hand and flip it around 180 degrees.
You flip it, and that's where the map is, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'll grab one too. Are there any very clearly marked areas that are like do not enter or whatever? Or is it basically just your standard layout?
Are you asking me this, or are you asking her this?
I'm asking you first, okay, because she said that it would be marked in the pamphlet.
Yes. So you'll note that, like, in the pamphlets, like, you saw areas that branched off from where you guys docked with the entertainment module that you know exist but aren't listed on the pamphlet.
Ah, okay.
And for example, you see there are 3 levels of residential module 82 that are listed, level A, B, and C, but those are the only 3 levels it shows. But it's obvious from the picture that the residential module is much larger than that.
Neat.
I'll ask, are we allowed to return to our ship?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Your ship is absolutely accessible. You imagine that your ship, as part of your kit, so to speak, will have things necessary for you to complete the activities required of you in contest.
Yeah, is there any provisions we should start, looking into?
I have not been cleared to give you more information than you will need to have yourselves in a mission ready status before the start of contest, and to assume you may be called upon to do things they may require of you in missions at any moment once it begins.
And when should we expect to begin? I assume within 24, 48 hours, or will it be a little bit later?
Contest begins in about 2 days. Well, I have been told to expect that our logistics operator, Ethic, will be arriving right near the end. Her work, unfortunately, leaves her one of the busiest of our council members. But I think she has a keen interest in that. She is one of the people who has made it very clear that we need to get people hired right away. So hopefully... Unfortunately, you probably won't get a chance to speak with her before contest starts. But if you see some of your competitors or some of the council members in and around the facilities leading up until then, please feel free to introduce yourselves.
I'm assuming assassination of the other contest members is frowned upon.
Yeah, why do you all keep asking that?
Wait, we're not the first?
I just want to make sure there are proper security measures in place for us as well, that we're being watched to be protected, you know?
Yes, it is... we assume that you all will be needed for work once you succeed, and... Let me just say, were you to, in bad faith, hurt or damage the ability to perform of one of your competitors, that would be seen as damaging the operational capacity of the corporations themselves, seeing as we want to hire you once this is all over.
Wait,
you
who
might
else asked?
Rephrase that differently in the future, because I heard if you're seen quite a lot.
Yes, that's how I was told to present the information.
I just nod at her and start looking in a different direction.
Okay, for the third time, who else asked that question?
I don't know if I should tell you that.
I mean, I think we have the right to know people want to murder us. I think that's fair, right, guys?
As capable mercenaries and independent operators, I suspect you should be able to determine the intents of other mercenaries.
I slip a credit chip on the table.
I had one.
I mean, like a good, like $150 worth, or you know, something like that.
I'll double it.
You know. Not insignificant, not like a ton of money.
She will, without looking down at it, reach out with one hand and slide it off the table into her other hand that's below the table and pocket it and go, I believe that one of the competitors from the Uncanny Ravine had a variety of disturbing questions that were in the same field as what you just asked.
Dyne will nod without saying a thing.
I was wondering, what should we be expected to operate our mechs in space? Do we need EVA modules?
I was told to be that you should all be mission ready, but that is not
Well, mission ready could mean many things depending on the mission.
That's correct.
I think part of it, Astro, is how easy we can adapt to a quick mission upcoming without having all the information. So whatever you think you need.
She smiles placidly as you say this without necessarily confirming what you're saying, but she doesn't, correct you in any way.
All right, well, I think we have everything we need for now. Should we check out our new digs?
Let's do so, and then decide what gear we may want to retrieve from the ship. and bring down here.
I was also told
to
let you know that we do have hangars available within the entertainment module. If you want to bring your equipment and mechs closer to hand, rather than shipping them from the dock module to here, we can issue each team one private hangar each. Note that private does not necessarily mean completely blocked off from the other hangars, merely that you will be allotted a subsection of a larger hangar area that you would be able to use as you see fit.
Okay.
As soon as we're out of earshot, Evelene says, "There's no way in hell I'm putting our mechs in those public areas."
The downside is that it may take us longer to get to the mechs, and if something comes up quickly, then I mean I agree with you, but
that is the trade-off.
We need to consider it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather trust our mechs with Curry than any of these guys.
But
Are you saying you want Curry to come down and keep an eye on the mechs while we're doing things?
No, I mean like on the TBC.
well, I mean I agree too, but necessity may require us to move them here.
Worst comes to worst, we can always have one of us stay in the hangar and rotate shifts as needed.
That did cross my mind.
It's not like all four of us need to be present at any and all public meetings at any given time, and I assume the other mercenary crews are going to assume the same. Although,
I'm sorry,
to
Bob.
be fair, I was going to say, Astro probably should be at all meetings at all times as the face of the crew.
What was the name of the party that was asking those questions again, Bob? Sorry.
Uncanny Ravine.
Yeah.
Uncanny Ravine, okay. Thank you.
They're the group that may be blackmailing Grime, the governor.
I'm blackmailing Grime.
Yeah, I thought we were doing that.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah, but I mean, just saying that they're also blackmailing. They're the other blackmailer.
I don't remember that. Are they?
Yeah.
I have no memory of that actually.
I don't either, but I'm taking his word for it.
I mean, that's what I have in my notes anyway, so.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, we may want to revisit that in the future. All right. So Astro will start heading over to the whatchamacallit, the residential module.
All right. As you head over to Module 82, you will note that there are. It is like getting to the side of. Like you go down a hallway that is indicated to be the connection point from the entertainment module to the residential module, but it is almost like walking into the lobby of like a large like apartment building, right? Like you get into it, but there isn't really anything here except a room that goes to some elevators, basically. You get to the end of it, and there are like various vending machines along the sides of the room as you enter in to the area with the elevators. And then the elevators themselves, there's 3 elevators, and you will note there is like the button to call the elevator. And then once inside, there are various buttons to take you to different levels of this residential module. There is level A, level B, level C, level D, and then a button that just says offices.
She said we're on level C. Then she's 7C, maybe?
C3.
Anyone remember?
It was C3.
C3. Okay. I'll hit level C.
All right. The lift will take you up to level C, and as you arrive, it lets you out into another lobby, kind of facing the opposite direction. This is one of those elevators that, like, you get in on one side, and then it lets you out the other side.
Right.
Almost like the elevator was traveling up and down the face of the module. You have been let out.
I hate those so much. Yeah. I've never been made a fool of more things in my life than that.
Which door? Which door is it gonna be? It lets you out into level C of residential module 82, which actually has a large thoroughfare. There are it's like two pathways with like almost like park benches. In between the two pathways, there are like planters that have trees and bushes and ferns and stuff like that to like obfuscate the artificial nature of living in a space station. This looks like an area that was made for actual like residential living. The apartments aren't so much apartments per se, but almost like townhouses, right? Like it seems like each level that you could travel to in this residential module is almost like a residential street that has like this little thoroughfare that has like various like plants and benches and vending machines and stuff like that, with all the different little apartment complexes that you can go into on the left and the right of the street.
Well, this residential module certainly seems more up to date than the last one.
It is also empty. And empty in an odd way.
Yeah.
As you walk in, you will get that first impression, Astro, and it does genuinely feel like, oh, this place was actually taken care of. But as you're walking, you can't help but notice like bits of personalization on some of the houses. There's like, oh, isn't that nice? You would expect like, oh, if someone was living there, oh, they like hung a little thing out of their like window or whatever. Or like you'll see on the street is like, oh, someone left their ball in the street. Right? You see like a little soccer ball next to one of the benches. But the entire residential module is silent as a tomb.
I guess it's just us here. Hello?
There is a very slight echo.
Let's just head to our apartment. Or
yeah.
3C. I look at the townhouse numbers.
Yeah, and almost like house numbers on houses on a street. Each one of them is marked, C1, C2, C3. Evens are along one side of the street, and odds are along the opposite side of the street. So you get to apartment C3 along the right-hand side. There's like a little staircase that goes up to a front door. And yeah, it seems to recognize you almost immediately as you approach. The door unlocks for you, and you're able to open it. It opens into what is essentially like a little 2-story apartment townhouse that has like a residential sort of like living area with like a little kitchen on the first floor, and then a staircase immediately the entrance that goes up to a second floor that has like 6 private rooms up there.
All right, seems cozy enough.
Well, just to be safe with how eerie it is outside, we should probably do a sweep to make sure nothing untowards is here.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there are, how many entrances and exits are there? Is there just the one door, or is there a back door or something?
As you take a look around, you will realize there is a sealed door that you can't access in the back of the module. You believe this would go to like an emergency escape route. It is like, this is a fire door that only opens if the emergency system is turned on.
All right.
There are even markings along the side of it that say like fire along the side of it.
Oh yeah. Okay, then that's clearly what it's for. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking something similar, Dyne. I might do a sweep for bugs here.
All right, it's looking specifically for monitoring devices.
Yeah, so I have an idea of how I might do that, actually, if you want to hear me out.
I do want to hear you out.
So you know how Astro has sunglasses with data plating. He's configured it to display like an augmented reality view that can detect like EMF signals, like hotspots, sort of like how like ghost hunters like do that. But oftentimes it's just like they're detecting outlets and stuff like that. So it would just be like nothing too granular or precise, but like looking at EMF fields, trying to see if anything is giving off a signal that an electronic device might be embedded somewhere.
Okay. To separate the wheat from the chaff here, I am still going to need a pilot check on this.
So I think, would this be a hack or a fix in that I am hacking my data plate to do this, or are we assuming I already have this?
I'm assuming ability? That's a thing you can do. And
okay, yeah,
the check will be, now that you can see all this stuff, can you tell what of these is the microwave and what of these is a monitoring system?
I think in this case, this is going to be an investigate.
That sounds good to me.
Alrighty. Let me roll that up. Hold on. Let me get my character sheet up for the first time. All right. Cool. Investigate. Roll, and I rolled a 9.
All right.
Unfortunately.
It is... The thing is, this is a space station. This isn't like a townhouse like on a planet. You know what I mean? It's not like you can even go, oh, it's just a couple of walls and some doors and some furniture, right? Like the fact that it's a space station means those fire doors that go out the back are probably controlled by some sort of release system. The emergency system is probably, on some sort of monitoring system. The sprinklers, like the things that would detect like hazardous gas buildup in here, those are probably their own kind of monitoring systems, right? Like the thing that detected and opened the door for you as you entered is probably its own system. Like there is enough stuff going on here because this is a place that exists in outer space, and that is such a precarious location to exist. There's just wall-to-wall electronics, and you can't separate out what of those is for our safety, what of those is required so that this place can exist, and one of those is maybe a little extra something slipped in there to watch us, right? You can't find the needle in the haystack here.
Astro will take off his sunglasses and say, well, can't really make heads or tails this way. If we want to do a sweep for bugs, probably going to just have to do it the old-fashioned way by monotonously. Yeah, I can't say that word. checking common places for them to be hidden, and just
even if you had something, I would have followed up with that anyways. Sometimes doing it by hand is just better than entirely relying on the tech. And Dyne's gonna walk around and basically check as much as he can in each room and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
This would probably be a follow-up investigate, right?
I think this is probably more a spot.
Oh, spot? Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
The investigate with his thing makes sense because he was already seeing the things. He just need to figure out what's what. I think you're trying to spot details or objects that are difficult.
That are hidden.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. There we go. 14.
Okay. With that, you kind of go through the manual work of being like, okay, but really, like, where would I put something if I wanted to see what's going on in here? You check around a few things. You are able to find a microphone hidden in a lamp. You are able to find what appears to be a kind of tag-along video monitoring system that's tied into like basically the smoke detector also has like a camera built into it. You are able to see that for some reason in the back of the refrigerator, there is a camera looking out of the back of the refrigerator towards the door. And you are also able to determine that in the main living area, the kind of like wall panel that is used to like display information and that you could also watch like media on and set up like media watching in the living room also has a microphone kind of like embedded on the back of it.
Ah, yes, the fridge cam. They must have watched a red alert.
Yeah, so like some of these, in your opinion, Dyne, are these like bugs, or are these just like part of devices like smart speakers and
like, what's the difference?
Same thing.
I imagine that some of these were probably placed by the core, part of so they can keep track of us, and part of so they can see whether or not, we're doing our job, because, protecting their information is probably part of their job. So, or part of our job. So if we don't find these, that's kind of a detriment to us. I think just removing them entirely is probably the safe bet. As for whether or not these are from the other crews, I don't know.
Are you sure you want to rather just play classical music very loudly as we have conversations?
I mean, we could just take this microphone and wire it to just play Astro Jamin movies the entire time that we're here, and us not listen to it, but that's all they get.
I did find the Christmas album you did.
He is a great actor, that Astro Jamin.
Well, hold on. It wouldn't be kind of weird.
I'd like to meet him someday.
Why would we be so interested in Astro Jamin? We have no relation with that man, right?
Because he's a fantastic actor.
I feel like some of his work is derivative.
What better way for them to not pay attention than to play the bad Astro Jamin movies to them?
So let me get this straight. Xander Nova canonically is an Astro Jamin fan.
Well, of course. Of course he is.
Unfortunate.
That's the only way that he can get away with all of his, the occasional Astro slip-ups.
Yeah. He's just, I'm just a big fan.
Hey, Bob?
Yeah.
Is it possible for me to see if there's anywhere to like set up like a trap or anything in the entrance way? Like if there's like a way to like attach a turret or something that won't be obvious?
You want to set up a turret in the entryway.
Not an
to your
obvious
house.
turret.
Well, no, after you get through the door.
Oh, no. I understood what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
I was confirming you want to set up a deadly turret at the entrance to your house.
Well, I'm just thinking that if anyone tries to get in, it might be something that nice if we had something that we had.
So if someone breaks in, you want to shoot them. Just confirming.
My property.
You wanted to kill them when they enter. You want to create a trap that kills someone when they enter this house.
Maim them badly, not kill them.
It doesn't have to be a gun. It could be like a Home Alone trap if we wanted to. Something a little less deadly.
That's not any better.
Not what
Those
you
are
said.
deadly.
What you said was a turret. You tell me what you want there. I'll tell you how possible it is.
Let him cook. I want to see where this is going.
I'm just imagining when like room service shows up and you have like a dead dude with a silver platter in your entryway.
Wait, we have room service?
Someone should read the brochure.
Or with a maid. Yeah.
Let me hold off then and make sure I understand who's going to be accessing the apartment besides us. I assume this is going to be exclusive to us.
Dyne would talk Evelene out of this. I'm saying if you're really worried, just make sure that you're armed whenever someone comes to the door. Plus, I assume there's a way for us to see who's outside of our door. I assume that's right, Bob, right?
Yeah, it's one of the cameras you have access to. Yes, it has one of those doorbell cameras. Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
If you want, we can see about setting up some sort of sensor or something to detect if anyone enters the place when we're not here.
And shoot them. No, wait.
And then shoot them. And then flat out murder them.
Meanwhile, the microphone is playing this to the group. Well, okay.
Someone dies in our apartment.
In your apartment.
Like, well, we have evidence to suggest you were going to set up a turret to kill people. We think it was you.
What turret hides behind back?
Let's circle back to that idea. But first, Dyne, if you want to get rid of any recording devices, that's just due diligence on our part.
Dyne has already removed the recording devices before this conversation started.
Good.
Oh.
I think we should do this. We should do that. I have done this.
He anticipates my need. It's still somehow my credit still goes to me.
All right. Well, you guys are here technically 2 days before contest will begin. You did make the choice to come early because you do remember that Effic told you on her station, like, once she arrives, she's going to arrive just before contest starts. So she'll be leaving in like a day. Like the day after you guys left, basically. But she was like, listen, we should not arrive at the same time. So you guys were like, okay, we'll leave before you then.
Yep. That's right. All right. Well, we should, first of all, maybe report back to Curry and let him know what we're dealing with and that we might want to transport our mechs over to this hangar.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I'll hold up one of the pamphlets. I don't really trust this thing. I'm gonna take a look around and see if I can map out things and see if they're hiding something from us.
Look around, you mean the module at large?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good.
I'll go and help facilitate the transfer of the mechs and set up Artemis on watch duty, and we can figure out how we want to have our mechs watched. Maybe
invite Curry.
Watch. Yeah.
Actually, I want to come too because I want to see these hangars for myself.
Okay.
All right, Astro. So you're calling ahead, and then Dyne and Evelene are going back to the ship, and then Steve, you're gonna take a look around.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I imagine first thing happens is Astro, you're gonna call Curry.
Yeah.
So you call the ship. You get a hold of Curry. He appears like he's in the cargo area right now. There's some stuff behind him. He looks like he was like, reorganizing because he had to like pull something out from or something. The lid's off one of the boxes in there you see behind him. And he's like,
it's all full of tuna.
Yeah, they're at one. He's at one of the wall panels talking to you. So you're just kind of like seeing the hanger over his shoulder. He's like, hey, Astro, how's contest? Nice and fabulous that way.
It's did not meet my expectations for sure. It's very bare bones right now. I know we're early, but it's oddly quiet here.
What do you mean quiet?
I don't know. We just the entertainment module seems like pretty empty, not fully finished. We met the representative. It was just a contest. It was just a single person at a little cheap fold-out table. she directed us to our residences, and I'm pretty sure we're the only ones on our floor, even though it can accommodate like a whole neighborhood of people.
Huh. Seems like a waste.
Yeah, it seems like they built a lot of stuff, but they haven't fully utilized it yet. But yeah, it's a little strange. I guess, it's the calm before the storm. Maybe things will pick up. But it kind of feels like being on the set of a movie, to be honest. Just a lot of things here, but not a whole lot of people around.
It's like they built an entire apartment complex, but only one person actually moves in.
Yeah.
That's weird. I mean, from what I understood, this place is like not very what's the word? Financially sound. So I don't know why they'd have so much empty area that they're not utilizing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I understand they've reserved all this space for us only, but it just seems like this whole place is like bigger than it needs to be. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. Not all of the contestants are in yet. Not all of the judges are in yet, and I'm sure there are other parties that will be attending as well that will be coming in the next few days.
Gotcha. You meet any of the other contestants yet?
No, we just got settled into our new home. I think I'll probably want to reach out to Shep 7 just so we don't blindside them when they see Murder of Crows as a group they've dealt with before.
No.
What did he say?
He said, "Oh, you've met one of them before?"
No. Yeah, long time back before you were on the crew.
Gotcha.
We're on good terms actually. But
hope they're not narcs then.
Let's hope not. I don't think they're the type.
That's good.
So anyway, just letting you know, they have provisioned us some hangar space for our mechs, so we may be transferring that over to the module. And we were talking, and we think we would maybe want you on board as well. Or not on board, with the mechs. Just because, we want someone we can trust around.
Well, I can't watch the mechs 24/7.
No, we do it in shifts, but
okay. Yeah, no, I'm on board.
Maybe
with that.
You could just help oversee us initially, just transporting them over.
Yeah, I mean we're pretty stocked up until you guys get this contract thing figured out. We don't have much work to do here on the DBC, so sure. I'll come along, check out this hangar with y'all, and yeah, I mean, I don't mind watching them.
I think what was it, Evelene and Dyne heading over to the
Yep.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, I think Evelene and Dyne are heading back to the DBC.
All right, good. I'll need their help to get your mechs loaded up into their transport system.
All right. All right, I think that's it for now. Thanks, Curry.
Yeah, no problem, boss. Hey, one thing. Do you think watching your mechs is a dangerous job?
Well, if you have a sidearm you'd like to bring with you, it's probably not a bad idea.
You got it, boss.
But yeah, just be prepared for anything.
What's more dangerous, the other mercenaries or Artemis?
I can't be prepared for anything, but I can be prepared for someone I can shoot with a shotgun. So hopefully that is what I need to be prepared for.
All right, then we should be good.
All right, I'll start getting things ready while I wait for him to get here.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right. Anything else you need there, Astro?
Not for now.
All right. Evelene and Dyne, it's going to take you a little bit to get back there. I'll tell you what goes on there in a bit. I want to see first where Steve is headed.
Not in a particular direction or place. I'm actually just trying to accurately map out as much as I can around us. One, to see if the map that they give us is any good. And two, just to have a good idea of what is around us,
Yeah, totally. So are you going around level C right now? Is that what you're prodding the edges of, or are you leaving module
outward
C?
as a circle kind of from where we're at?
Okay. So you're allowed to check out the other townhouse / apartments on this level and
This is probably going to take most of the 2 days unless something else comes up, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. Is I will do it for most of the day, come back, and then the next day, if I'm not finished, keep doing it.
Increase your radius and stuff.
Yeah.
I do want to say, while they're out headed off, you kind of leave the apartment and look around and see the streets and look down at the little map they gave you to kind of know what's where. You do know that the other apartments on the street are C1, C2, C4, normal names. As you start looking around just this local area to make sure things end where they say, that there aren't any other exits that aren't listed and things like that, you will happen upon an odd noise. Coming from one of the little gutters along the side of the street, you hear a mechanical noise that almost seems like a gear caught on something. It's it's something that's caught on something.
Okay. Can I find exactly where it's coming from?
Yeah. You kind of tread your way over to one of the little little water catch / dustways that go along the side of the street. And as you look down in, there is a little puck-like robot down in the crevice that was traveling along the crevice, sweeping things up, and it got stuck on something. It's on top of something, and it can't keep moving forward because its wheels are stuck, lifted in the air, because it seems like it bounced up on something as it was trying to clean through this little crevice here.
Can I get access to it enough to find out what it was stuck on and, get it out or whatever?
You can reach your arm down there. Totally.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
All right. So are you going to push the robot back off of it, or are you just trying to yank the thing out from beneath it, or?
If the robot just comes out, I'll just pull it out to look at it. Just to make sure it is what it is.
You abduct the robot. You reach down and you grab this little disc-like robot. You lift it into the air, and it has a few wheels on the bottom. It has some spinny brushes that turn off as you lift it. As its back wheels lose contact with the ground, its brushes turn off. And as you lift it up, you see that it is some sort of future Roomba, basically. But it also has little ducts alongside of it to clean up liquids and stuff like that as well, and little brushes to sweep up things. It is a self-service cleaning drone, basically.
Okay. Well, I like them, but there's not much I can do with them, so I'll check and see what it got stuck on now.
As you look back down into the little duct it was cleaning along, you will notice there is some sort of matted fabric down in there. It's hard to tell what it is in the dark. You'll have to lift it up and out to get a good look at it.
Will do.
All right. As you lift it up, you'll realize it is a partially deflated, kind of grubby, a little bit dirty, kind of patchwork, one ear missing teddy bear.
Okay. I'll take it for now, I guess. I'll put the little robot back in there.
As the robot's wheels make contact with the ground again, you go, and then it starts going along the track again.
It doesn't get stuck again. I just hear it go off in the distance.
Yeah, you just hear it go off in the distance.
Okay. I want to inspect the bear. Is there yeah, I want to inspect the bear.
Okay. Aside from what I've told you about it, what are you trying to discern?
I'm trying to discern if there's any blood stains on it. Mostly.
Okay. I can tell you that without a check. There is not.
Okay. Huh.
But it is a heavily used. It is like it is a bear that has been. It is not off the shelf.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll keep it for now and then keep with what I'm doing.
All right. As you continue to kind of check around the area, Evelene and Dyne, you get back on the tram to head back towards the dock module. Yep. As you sit on the tram, you watch as the little advertisement about Project Rebirth plays again. You get to see all the corporate logos. You get to see the logo for Project Rebirth. You see some people hanging out. You realize now, it's a different advertisement. It starts the exact same way, but instead of just people talking on the quad, it is now like, oh, look at these people like farming. People farming. Isn't that interesting? And then it cuts to the logo of Project Rebirth at the end, and then it ends, and then the tram turns on and starts heading off towards the dock.
How long are these commercials?
I mean, it wastes maybe about 4 minutes every time you get on one of these.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
And you can cut these commercials away for $15.99.
You know, it's one of those things. It's like, you know, you can't skip the company logos at the beginning either. The commercial itself is pretty short. It's like a minute maybe, right? But like every company logo does its thing where it like has its little animation and comes in, and then, you know, it has, and then the little symbol becomes the name of the company, and then it, you know, crossfades out, and then the next animated company intro starts, right? So it's like you have to watch like 4 of those before the commercial starts, and then it's this nothing commercial, and then the symbol for Project Rebirth, and then it ends.
They want us to know each company that's involved.
Yeah, they do.
I swear to God, Dyne, if one of the Lantern teams doesn't kill us, I might kill myself if I have to keep listening to these commercials.
Well, why aren't you bringing entertainment to tune them out?
Evelene does that thing where she like has an aha moment and like and puts her fist into her hand like, oh.
As Dyne is looking, has been the entire time the commercials has been looking at something.
All right, so you guys head back towards Dock Module 126. When you get there, Curry will have already started prepping you guys for what supplies you would need to take the mechs off board. He has opened like the side panels of the ship where you disembark where you undock the ship from. Yeah, I mean, he has also like started categorizing some crates and stuff. He's like, okay, well, this is ammunition, this is repair supplies. Is like, you're gonna have to, you know, get all this stuff transported there too, because you won't want to send back to the ship to get this stuff if you need it.
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense. And the fewer trips we can make on the tram, the better. So yeah, let's get prepared.
And while Dyne is there, he's also gonna pick up like I don't know whether we decided to like wear our full like suits of armor, like the
unless you tell me you have gone down to equipped those, then I assume you are not wearing them, because they are while your hard suits, while not like insane, are like bulky. They are not something you would expect someone to walk around in on a day-to-day basis. So unless you tell me you're wearing them, I assume you're not wearing them.
Right, and Dyne, that's what I assumed. So Dyne went down to collect those as well for everybody. That way, if we're supposed to end up being prepared for a mission at any time, having those on the ship is probably not a good idea, because we don't know whether the mission's going to be in the mechs, in person, and having them in where we're going to be staying is a good idea.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I agree.
So he's going to pick up those and
all right.
prepare the mechs for transport.
As you guys are getting this stuff set down, Jess will come down too to see what you guys are doing, and she'll just go, "Oh, hey, so how are things there?"
You know,
eerily quiet.
Okay.
Underused. Like, there's far less people than the amount of space they have here.
Did you get any insight on what they're going to have you be doing?
They just told us to be prepared.
So that's exactly what we're doing.
If I'm going to run, operations for you while you're doing these things, where would you like me to set up then? I can still contact you from the ship if I stay with DBC, but Curry's leaving to go to the hangar with you, right? Like, do you want me to stay with the ship and just monitor you all from here?
I think that's probably the safest bet. Yeah, I would at least have one person on the ship, and we can set up comms from where we're staying. Curry is going to be part of a watch, so that we can at least have someone with the mechs at any given time, so nothing untowards happens to them. You never know.
All right. Well, when you engage your mechs, I've run ops for you from further than from here to that other module you're at, so I'm not worried about signal strength or anything. I should be able to monitor your condition and what your status is from here. I just wanted to make sure, there wasn't something else you expected me to do. I just want to help as best I can.
I think what we need you to do is work from the place where you can do your best work. And if it sounds like you're most comfortable working from the ship, then there's no reason why you should move, right?
Yeah, no, that's fair enough, Evelene. I'll make sure that if you guys need to be mission ready at any time, I'll make sure that I'm support ready at any time. You just let me know, and I'll be on comms ready to run things for you.
Right. Well, we got about 2 days before this is supposed to start, so, we got 2 days to get accustomed to our surroundings.
Okay. And they said that we would be done, they wanted us to be done within 3 weeks. They had jobs that needed to be started within that time frame. So that's about when we can expect everything to be concluded.
Okay. Okay, well, that's good to know. Let me know if anything changes or you get any new information. If you want a good meal and they don't have good stuff for you there, just stop back to the ship and we can whip stuff up for you here.
Well, if you'd like, if you want to, get a chance to stretch your legs, we can tell you where our residential area is. If you want to go, I'm sure Steve will be back there in some time. At least get a chance out of the ship a bit.
Yeah, maybe before it starts. I want to make sure that I'm ready when things start. So why don't I come back with you on this trip, and then I can check out what kind of setup they have you all in.
Sounds good.
That sounds good. And then I'll look at Evelene and I go, leave the tuna here, and then I'll walk out of the room.
I've never been so called out. Evelene walks over to a panel on the ship, hits it with her fist, and just remove some tuna from there while Dyne's not looking. I'm always going to have tuna available, whether you like it or not.
But yeah, this is going to be a couple of days before contest starts for real. We don't have to go hour by hour or anything on this, but I am interested in finding out from you all if there's anything you'd be interested in going about, any change you'd be interested in affecting, any planning you'd want to do, any contacts you'd like to make. Is there anything you want to do between now and the beginning of contest?
Two things. One, I'm assuming I don't find anything else on my expedition for that day.
That is probably the most significant odd thing that you find right near the beginning. I will say that as you kind of increase your radius a little bit, are you going to be checking the other floors that you're not on in the residential thing? Like, will you try going to floor B and floor A?
Probably at some point, but probably not the first day.
Not the first day. Okay.
Yeah.
If not the first day, then not yet. I don't have anything to say about those.
Okay.
But as you continue, like, mapping out the block, there are paths that aren't available on your list that you are able to chart out yourself. Things that are more like, oh, this is meant to be like a manual staircase for like employees or tech workers to move up from A to B to C to D to offices. That, while technically not accessible to you, is not like hard locked in a way that like you think you could get in there. Like, it might cause some problems if you fuck up getting in there, but you think you could get into that stairwell. You know what I mean? So you're able to find one of those. You look at the other houses on the street. You will note that most of the other homes on the street are like blackout, closed off, where you can't even open the doors on them. Like they're magnetically locked. But you will see there are 3 other townhouses on the street that do have the that do seem like they will be in use, but there is no one there yet. If you had to guess, it's probably like, oh, maybe more of the groups will be in these 2. That is C6 and C9. So you're all on this. You're kind of like back and forth along the street, almost like in a zigzag pattern.
Okay. The next thing is I just want to have a scene tonight when we all gather at the apartment.
Okay. Anyone else doing something during the day today that they want to set up or do or show having you engaging with before we move forward?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, in addition to whomever is on duty with the mechs, Artemis is going to be actively watching.
Okay. Yeah, you boot up Artemis. She was on already.
Yeah.
And what do you tell her, basically?
I just basically tell her that if there is anything, to immediately contact basically Jessica as well as us. That way we can react accordingly, because whoever's on watch is obviously going to be there, but that way there's no downtime between, something happens and then we hit the aftermath.
What am I on the watch for, Dyne?
Threats, but do not fire any weapons unless something very, very bad happens.
Anyone fiddling with the mechs or
do I
equipment
have authorization to defend myself?
Yes, but if and only if weapons are drawn. I am going to set up a direct communication between you, Jessica, and as well as myself. That way, there will be 0 downtime between what has happened and when we need to act.
I'd also suggest any form of tampering should be under there, because that's not necessarily a weapon.
That's true.
I agree.
I will allow that.
I will also say that if we haven't done so already, position your mech in a place where you can see the entire hangar. I assume she's going to be occupying the mech during this time.
I mean, she's part of the mech. She's like installed in the mech.
I
she
know
has
Artemis
access to all the cameras and everything.
I knew Artemis is removable, but I mean, yeah, I guess it would make sense to keep her in the mech.
I see no reason to bring her with me. She would probably be too bored.
Yeah.
What if the person on watch is the only person in danger?
contact us first to let us apprise us of the situation, and then act in a defensive manner, a protective manner, not an offensive manner, if that makes sense. Warning shots.
Yeah.
If it proceeds beyond that, hopefully we will have arrived to address the situation.
I'll take care of things.
Internal worrying intensifies.
I feel like, Dyne, you have a great future as a politician because you have to choose your words very carefully around Artemis.
Look, she's attached to a machine that has a cannon that can put a hole in the station.
Yeah.
That's not generally something most politicians have to worry about.
All right, so that is set up. Curry will kind of get accustomed to this hangar. He'll start like getting your supplies like loaded in where they need to be, getting like a sorting system set up so everyone knows where everything is, and like so he knows when he needs to like get more things from the ship or not. And then he's going to set up like a little area that just has like a tablet, a chair, and like a desk that he can like hang out at while he's literally just sitting around for hours with nothing to do. But yeah, he's making himself comfortable here, and he's like, okay, once my shift's done, do you want me to head back to the DBC, or should I head up wherever your residential area is?
What's closer?
Whichever you prefer. If you would rather be more comfortable on the DBC, then that's fine. If you want to come with us,
further away.
And you'll have to listen to that commercial too. I mean, twice.
Yeah. I mean, I'll meet you guys up at the at your apartment when I'm done here. And then whenever someone is ready to relieve me, send them down. We'll trade places.
Sounds good.
All right. Anything else happening during the day? I'm interested to see what Astro was doing all day.
So Astro wants to. He's gonna go back down to the woman, who is the representative, like taking in people from contest. I forget her name. And I'll go back down and I'll say, excuse me, I was just wondering, I thought I might meet my fellow contestants. Can you tell me where they are in the residential module?
Sure, I can direct you.
You said Uncanny Ravine and Shep 6 were here already?
Yes, Shep 7, Uncanny Ravine, and Prismalo have all come in addition to yourselves.
All right. Can you just tell me their addresses? I'd like to, meet and greet.
I'd like to meet and greet Pumps Shotgun.
It looks like the Cane Vagrants are down on... Check here. They're down on A1. Uncanny Ravine is down on A4. And it looks like Prismalo are on B7.
All right, thanks. I'll head to the elevator and go to floor A.
All right, give me 1 second. All right, you head down to floor A. As you do, you're led out onto a street that could almost be a carbon copy of the one that you were on for yours.
Yep. Good. I'm just logging back into our old Roll20 where site where we used to play, and I still have some NPCs for Shep 7, so I have their names here. Dahlia Knight, Eos Palace, and Bingo Reeds. That's what I have. Okay. I'm going to head to 1A.
As you get off the lift and start heading down through A, you notice someone walking towards you.
I'll wave.
They wave back at you enthusiastically. They have like a odd sort of curled red hair, like that's straight down the back and then curls up at the end. Almost like only curls at the very end. They are wearing just like kind of a puffy outfit that has stripes all over it of red and pink. And as they approach, you will see that they're very pale. They're kind of in short sleeves, and they have scars going all up and down their arms. And just huge smile plaster on their face is like, "Hey, you must be one of the other contestants."
I am, yes.
Nice to meet you. How recently did you get here?
We literally just got in. We settled into our new place, and I've just been exploring.
Well, isn't that great? Just the same smile plaster on their face. Their expression doesn't change no matter what they say.
I'll say, I'm Xander Nova, commander of the Murder of Crows.
Oh, then you must be the new group that just got added to the contest.
Yep. That's us. And who might I have the pleasure of speaking to?
My name's Smiles.
Well, that is quite a appropriate name for you.
Yeah, I think so.
Are you one of the contestants?
Yep.
What group are you with?
Oh, I'm with the Uncanny Ravine.
Ah, okay. Interesting. So what do you think of this whole thing?
Looks around at the place you guys are in right now, is like, pretty nice.
Feels a little weird, doesn't it? It's like so big and empty.
Weird how?
Well, I just, didn't expect to see the sprawling residential module that is not really being used.
I mean, it's being used by us.
Yeah, I guess I was expecting something a little more, close quarters. Just seems like overkill just to accommodate us. You could probably fit an entire neighborhood in just one of these floors.
Oh yeah, probably hundreds of families.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big smile. Doesn't change.
Beginning to understand their name, Uncanny Ravine. I'll say, well, good to meet you. I actually came down to meet some of the other groups. Just get to know who I'll be, competing against.
Oh, that's brave of you.
Oh, brave? Why do you say that?
Oh, who doesn't know? People could be murderers or something. That'd be scary. Oh. Big smile, doesn't change.
Oh, I've heard stories, but I think it's all just, embellishment. We're all competitors, but, I'm sure it's all going to be in good sport and friendly.
Friendly, for sure.
Well, how many others are there in your group?
Oh, of us? There's 5 of us.
And are you all called Smiles?
No, just me.
Well, you must be the morale booster in your group.
I'm the one who smiles.
That you are. Well,
I'm headed off to the commissary right now to get some food. Do you want to come with me?
I wanted to stop by and say hi to the Cane Vagrants too.
Oh,
How about
okay.
I meet you down there?
They're boring.
I have no doubt they're less interesting than you.
You're not boring.
Glad to hear it. What makes me not boring?
I bet you'd make a good friend.
Well, I have been known to be a loyal friend.
I didn't say loyal, I said good.
Noted.
All right, I'm hungry. Bye.
Okay, see you later, Smiles.
Smiles, waves at you, leaves.
That was unsettling. All right, I'll go to A1.
All right. As you approach A1, the doorway, it looks exactly like the same kind of doorway you had set up before. But as you approach, it doesn't do the automatic unlock that it did for you at yours.
Is there a doorbell?
There is there's a little doorbellish type buzzer on the side.
Yeah, I'll hit the buzzer.
You wait a second, and eventually you hear something click on, like a speaker click on, and then you'll just hear someone go, "For the last time, I'm not hungry."
I'll say, it's not a food delivery.
What?
It's a friend.
Listen, I don't want new friends, okay? You can go shove it.
I really think you'd like to talk to me. I think we can help each other.
Oh,
You
no.
hear the camera turn on. It almost sounds like a shutter opening. Oh, you're not one of them. You know
I'm not one of
what?
them.
Back about 10 paces away from the door.
I'll do so.
All right, be right there. After a minute, the front door opens. Out steps a hardened looking woman who has a large sidearm that's not raised but is in her hand and down by her leg. She has it drawn, but it's unholstered but not aimed, right? And she kind of sticks half her torso out the door, looks at you. You see her look around at the street to make sure no one else is around, and then she turns and talks back into the door, and you can't hear from that distance what she's saying to the person behind her, but she'll step out and close the door behind her and then walk down the staircase over towards you and go, "Hey, you must be one of the other teams that came."
Is she familiar to me?
This is Dally Knight.
Okay, Dally Knight. She's the commander.
She is the commander of Shep 7, yes.
I'll say
she looks very similar to how you remember her from a couple years ago.
Okay. I'll say yes. Yes, we're from Murder of Crows. We just got in.
Sorry, I just really.
Listen, the reason I'm here is we know each other. When I say we know each other, I'll lower my voice to almost a whisper.
She looks suspicious at you.
Say, Dolly, it's Astro. Astro Jamin.
Astro, wait it. looks at you a little bit longer. It is. What? Why the fuck do you look like that?
I said I am currently in disguise, undercover.
You ditch your old crew or something?
No, we're here too. But we're going by the name Murder of Crows right now. We took on a few missions and got us into some hot water, and we're trying to find an exit plan. This contract seemed like a good pivot point for us, but we didn't want to bring along our reputation.
Oh, well, I won't be surprised if you're not the only people doing that here. There are some weirdos here already.
Yeah, have you met Smiles?
Yeah, they keep asking us to go out to dinner with them.
Yeah, Smiles asked me the same thing. And it never stopped smiling.
Yeah.
It's
an unsettling gimmick.
It's a fitting name, I guess they have. Yeah, it's very strange, and this whole place gives off weird vibes to me.
She looks around and goes, "Yeah, I don't like it."
Is that who you're expecting at the door when you said you don't want any food, Smiles?
Yeah.
Oh man, glad I'm not on the same floor as the uncanny ravine.
Yeah, you should be.
How often does Smiles eat a day?
I don't know. We've been here a few days, and they were here before we got here. We had finished up a previous escort mission and didn't have really anything to do between then and now. So we figured we'd show up early, and, well, it was a good choice because they cover all of our expenses while we're here. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah. Good thinking. Well, anyway, I just wanted to come by and let you know we're here, and I think maybe our two groups, we can kind of work together a little bit. There's what, 3 contracts available?
That's what I hear. Yeah, as long as we're in the top 3, we'll get some paying gigs.
I'd be pretty happy if you and me, our teams were in the top 3.
Well, based on what I saw before, you might be able to just handle that. I liked working with you in the past, even though the commanding officer we were working under was a huge dickhead. You know what? As long as it doesn't get in the way of me, taking care of my crew, I wouldn't mind we're helping you out.
All right. Well, good to know. Well, I'll let you get back to whatever you're doing. We're going to get settled in here.
Yeah, it's just, me and my crew are just hanging out in the house until things start. After Smiles over there kept showing up to ask us questions, we're a little wary about being out anywhere or leaving our apartment unattended. So, yeah, we're kind of hunkered down until things start. So you can probably find us here if you need to find us.
I don't blame you. Have you met any of the other members of the Uncanny Ravine, or just Smiles?
Just Smiles.
That's what
it's
Smiles
a one-man crew.
Smiles said there's about 5 of them.
Oh,
if
shit.
That's what Smiles is like. I can only imagine the rest of them.
Yeah, well, hopefully once things kick off, we'll have a better idea of what we're supposed to do, and I can stop thinking about it.
Yep. All right. Well, hey, give my best to the rest of the crew, and good luck out there.
Hey, you too. Hope you guys get some good. I don't know. We win points in this thing. How does this thing work? I guess we'll find out. Good luck.
I have no idea. We'll see soon.
Good luck as long as you do almost as good as us, but not quite as good as us, is what I would say.
Fair enough.
Hey,
All right.
Astro. The new look? It's not bad.
Ah, thank you. I'm sort of getting used to it myself. By the way, call me Xander. In public. Xander Nova is the name I'm going by.
Xander Nova. All right, you got it, Xander. It's still, me and the two that you met on your last mission, Gios and Bingo, are inside. If you need anything, let us know.
Will do.
She'll look around suspiciously, like she's worried someone was watching you from the bushes or something.
Yeah.
She'll walk back into the house and almost kind of sneak into her own house.
Yeah. All right. With that, I will just head back up to our apartment.
All right. And then, Mr. Steve, you said you wanted to do something tonight.
Yeah, when we all gathered together, I wanted to have a talk with everyone.
Talk.
I assume we all are then? There's nothing else we're clearing up?
Can be, yeah. If no one else had anything to do, let's go there.
Cool. I'll just report my findings so far that, I looked around. There's more areas that they're not showing, some that we could get into, maybe even use if we need to get somewhere quickly, and point that out to them. And then I'm going to bring up the fact that this place is really, really empty. You guys all noticed it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's creeping me out, to be honest.
It's almost like an abandoned theme park.
But it wasn't always this way. And I'll put the teddy bear down on the table. But I found this hidden away somewhere.
I always assumed they just hadn't opened this up to the public yet.
No, there were people here.
Interesting.
And there's two reasons I could think for why they're not. One of them is that they forcibly relocated them for horrible reasons. Another is they forcibly relocated them because this whole area is going to be a battlefield at some point.
How new does this place seem, Bob? Reasonably so.
I would say with just a casual eye, it's not cutting edge. It's well maintained and clean, right? But you wouldn't call this this is still. You imagine this is still architecture that was built into this for as long as E2705 has had this place. Right.
Okay.
This is residential module 82. For as long as this has been residential module 82, there are signs that they have not really made many updates to the place.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah,
makes sense.
But I expect that we may be fighting in these different residential districts. If I had to guess, based on what I've seen, we might even be teaming up with the district we're on, or specifically fighting people the district we're on to fight the others. Not sure.
That is interesting. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason they put us here instead of something more space efficient.
Well, I brought our armor and weapons here and moved them from the DBC. That way, in case we need to, we're able to change relatively quickly and on the fly. Here's hoping that this won't be too bad.
I just find it interesting that so far there's been 3 mech groups per floor, and they're looking for 3 contracts too.
That's a very good point you picked up on. Well, speaking of that, I did reach out to our old friends at Kane Vagrants. I'll turn to Evelene and Dyne and say, do you remember Dolly Knight, commander of Shep 7?
It's been a while,
I mean,
but yes.
Vaguely, yeah.
I talked to her. I gave her the whole lowdown, where, the whole story. We're looking to pivot into some contract work. We've got a lot of, bad rep coming in, so, we're trying to keep a low down profile. Hence my new look and my different name. And, she was on board with it. I said maybe, if the opportunity arises, we can help each other out, make sure we both secure a contract.
Well, it was a reasonably believable lie. It's not entirely false, but, this was probably the best way to get around it.
It's going to be really difficult if we're on separate teams.
Yeah, knowing our luck, we'll fight them pretty early on.
That's the unfortunate thing.
And what happens when we beat them and then they have no reason not to tell everyone around?
Although if you're right about each floor being awarded a contract, maybe that works out better for us. Because they could still win their contract and we can win ours. Essentially mean we have only 2 competitors.
Well, the question is, assuming this whole floor thing, are we competing against other floors, or is the competition only between teams on the same floor?
Could be either way at this point. Although I don't know why they'd force us into teams. They could do it early on to try to vet more people out quicker.
It's difficult to say. And I think it's too difficult to try and prepare for both scenarios. We'll just have to play it by ear and make the appropriate decisions on the fly, which is what they're expecting anyways.
Well, I'm going to keep mapping things out. If we can get down to different floors quicker through some of these access wells or find other ways through, knowing this area well when we start battle might be very important.
Yeah, if there's any shortcuts we can take, it might give us the advantage, or at least bypass some of those annoying commercials.
I bet you I'll be able to find more than I already have. And yeah, that's another thing. Do you think they really need to play those commercials for us? Pretty sure they played them for the people that were here before. We might... are you guys able to hack the tram systems to put them into like a service mode?
What do you mean by that? Service mode?
Like a maintenance mode or a safe mode, so that workers that would work on the tram could put it into the software, so that maybe it doesn't play the commercials then.
This whole time there's just been a skip ad button that we haven't noticed. Astro,
the ad isn't bad. It's the full 2 minutes of them telling us about the companies involved.
Just I want to move the tram. You can play the ad en route if need be. But Astro's like, I'm sure I can manage that.
I don't know why, but I have a feeling it might be important in the future. Like, say, for instance, if we need to use the tram quickly. Oh, by the way, one thing I want to point out is before we started this conversation, I did start playing music.
Oh yeah, the drown out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, Bob.
Yes. What genre of music? I need
classical,
to know.
just because you mentioned it before.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob. I can't help but notice you're rolling a lot of private rolls during this conversation.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
I am worried about it.
It's the countdown until Smiles shows up.
There we go.
No, Bob's just spamming the chat with private rolls.
Only 7. I only needed 7 rolls. Okay? Don't make a big deal about it. I just needed 7 rolls.
For whatever reason.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. In fact,
well, that's still fewer than Todd on the average game.
Why don't we find out more about that next session? We'll go ahead and get you guys up to the beginning of, and maybe get to see the first part of Contest next time.
Sick. Well, boy.
Okay.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye.